today I thought I would review some of the images that I recently printed out. I guess I'm a photographer of sorts.
Right?
Yeah.
Great, yeah. Yeah, it's very hot today, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty warm. It tends to get a little bit warmer on the third floor.
Right. Right. Can you walk around there? Maybe then
Yeah,
I can
sure.
get some look of the images. So,
let's see. These four here and these two I just printed recently, or most recently, so I thought that's what I'd kind of review today, take some notes, think about how I wanted to edit.
Yes. Do you feel like you want to tell your personal story or something to the world through your images, like?
I mean, I think in the nature of creating something, you're always telling something about yourself. Whether that be honest or a lie, it's still something about yourself. I wouldn't say that I have a direct message, rather that I hope to kind of create like a story or a scenario in each image, and like when the viewer looks at it is able to kind of create a narrative for themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of conversation with yourself, something like that. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, and your media is a collage or like composition of two or more images. It's very interesting, the context and the kind of interesting connection you make with them.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's hard for me to think about anything in like a single truth kind of way, which I think in photography it kind of has that history of documentary or just kind of this like one moment perspective. But I find that, you know, in any given situation there's multiple ways to look at it within yourself, and then clearly, you know, between multiple people there's just going to be kind of like a collision of simultaneous things happening, and that's why I like to kind of combine images that kind of and not erase the joints so much, you know, just to be transparent about these kind of layers.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it's like, do you have any like memory in your childhood where you like first discovered that this is what you want to do, or?
I guess I've always just been thinking about these things, just being half Japanese and half American, and things like that, and growing up in America, and what it means to be kind of the same, like one thing, but multiples at the same time, kind of these like dualities. And it wasn't until a couple years ago that I found that photography could express that. And I think I've always been inclined to photography. I'd been shooting for a long time, but it wasn't until a couple years ago that it kind of clicked that I could use it as a means of expression.
Right.
So.
Right, that's great. You talk about dualism. That's very interesting topic. Like we are like children of the two countries, or like children of the two places. So how do you think, like, then to settle in Japan as a photographer? How do you feel about? Can you settle here? Or?
Yeah, I mean, it's only been a couple months, I guess about 2 now, since I've been here, and I've found it a pretty positive community, especially working at the studio. There are a lot of folks who are just, you know, creating their own spaces here, and it's really exciting to be among that. I think at first I was a little intimidated just being in a new place and showing my work, but everyone's just been really positive. And,
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.